Now, here's the problem. Biddy has unfortunately got a good chance this time. I mean, if you keep saying as often as she does that this council's corrupt and you give no evidence because there isn't any.
What about Daryl?
What about Daryl?
Well, isn't he a crook?
Look, here's how we went, all right? We've got 4. All right? Harry, Irene and Fran, well done. And me.
Karen Schumacher, Biddy Marchant. Allow me to be the first to congratulate you.
She didn't waste any time. She wanted to talk to me about voting for her as mayor.
Now, what you're doing is called corruption.
Yeah, but you're looking after me, aren't you, George?
I do what I can.
Don't worry about bloody Cole, mate. You might not be the mayor come next week.
There's one more thing, by the way. Now, Daryl said something about people might have stopped talking about it, but Daryl hasn't forgotten.
Well, but isn't the great Pooh Bar himself come to visit the common people?
Yeah, shut up, Daryl. It's about time we had a talk. I've heard some shocking things about you, Daryl.
You had your Teflon shower this morning, have you?
To call the police
All
now.
over non-stick spray.
They're going to come in here.
So when you put
right,
one
they're going
people
to
from a
examine
great
your
height
contracts,
and nothing
right?
sticks to
They'll
you.
pay attention, Daryl. And if they find, as I'm told they will,
Up there in your poo bar
evidence of
frame,
corrupt practices,
sack all them workers,
backhanders,
sack all them
shady
other
deals,
workers. Too bad about their poor bloody families,
and payoffs, Daryl, and payoffs. And if you're found guilty of any of this, you'll be sacked, you'll be charged, and you go to jail.
Oh, yeah, and nothing happens to you, does it? No, you're all right. You're number one. You're Mr. Squeaky Clean, bloody Pooh Bar Mayor.
Hey, on the other hand, Daryl, we could save ourselves a lot of trouble. You could resign today. You could walk out of here this afternoon and never come back.
On the other hand, I can start telling a few people a few things I know about you.
No one's going to be interested in what you've got to say about me.
Well, you don't reckon anyone's going to be interested in a big sex scandal?
Too long ago.
Oh, you reckon, do you?
Just a sec, Daryl. George.
Oh. Lunch for 2.
You don't reckon anyone's going to be interested in a headline? Great Pooh Bar in child sex scandal.
Oh, I don't think you're going to the papers with this,
I don't
Daryl.
have to. I've got a better idea. I'll just go to that new councillor and I'll say to her, what do you reckon about a bloke? He gets a girl pregnant, she's 14 years old, she has to get rid of it. I was wondering, I mean, is that the sort of person that you want to vote for?
What about Sandra? Eh?
A bit late for you to be worrying about Sandra.
Don't think you want to drag her into this.
Yeah, well, that's up to you.
You're muckraking, Daryl. You're muckraking. When I tell my side of the story, people will understand.
Yeah, well,
they will understand.
And what will you say to the charge, oh great Pooh Bar, that you had sex with an underage 14-year-old girl and you got her pregnant?
I will say, Daryl, that at the time, Daryl, I was 13.
Old enough to get her pregnant.
I was 13.
Old enough to know better, mate.
Hey, I was a boy. I was just a boy.
To do the decent thing by her and marry her.
Well, unfortunately, the mayor is still in conference at the moment. He's very busy today.
He was busy last week too, and the week before.
Well, that was the election.
I haven't slept for months. The dog barks all night and nobody's done anything about it.
Yeah, I'm sure that must be dreadful.
Look, you've held on to this grudge for far too long, mate.
Don't you call me mate. Every time I look at Sandra, I think about what you've done to her.
Yeah, but realistically, once that had happened, which I'm not proud of, not proud of, but what else could I have
You
done?
could have married her.
Oh, you know why I couldn't.
Yeah, not good enough for
No,
you.
apart from the fact that we were too young.
Yeah, well, my mum and dad, they got married young and never heard them.
No, as well as that, you know, as well as I...
You already
No.
had plans to be that great poover.
No.
And you didn't want one of the common folk being lady poover.
you know
None of
that
my
your
family
sister,
is good enough
your
for you.
sister,
Don't you say it!
she's not right in the head.
She was all right before you got hold of her.
No, she was born that way.
Get out!
She was a bit slow, but she loves sex.
Get out!
No, I'm not...
Get off me, Daryl! Get off! What a bloody waste! 8-year-old single malt scotch, that. Hey?
Darren, neither of us want any of this to get out, all right?
What are you saying?
Why don't we just come to some sort of arrangement?
I'm listening.
Yeah, look, I just got to go and see Greg and run him through the paperwork on this. In the meantime, Daryl's still in communicating. Can you take care of that for me, George?
Done.
Thanks, George.
Network. You can't outsource management. Management's a core activity, and you can't outsource a core activity.
I see, and who gets to decide what's a core activity?
Karen, you waiting for me?
Due to see George, I think.
Right, well, that corrupt individual I mentioned, he's out. He's out. Or he's gone. I'll just have to explain it all to Greg. Greg, come on, I'll fill you in. But I still would like to talk to you today if I can.
Okay. Mr. Hasnikoff.
Ah, Miss Schumacher. Stephen, as an architect, you realise that now you're a councillor. If you should wish to lodge any building or development applications before this council, that you'll be required to disclose your conflict of interest, and that I'll be restrained from discussing any of the details of the assessment process with you.
Yes, I did know that.
I like to keep everything above board. Stephen will look after you.
Oh, Cole, Mr. Peterson's here.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Peterson. Had an appointment, did you?
Yeah, for today.
Very sorry, something very urgent has come up. Just speak to Janice, make another appointment. Very sorry.
And a couple of messages, only one from TAFE. Does it have to be the mayor, Mr. Peterson? Perhaps someone else can help you.
I got a letter from him 2 weeks ago saying I could come and see him any time. He said he was the most approachable mayor in the country.
Oh, unfortunately, Mr. Peterson, things just never seem to go as smoothly as they should.
Some people would like us to get rid of childcare. Everyone denies this is happening, but we've just had to do a complete inventory of all our buildings and equipment, and there's only one reason to do that, and that's to put a price on it.
Aren't you just being a wee bit suspicious? I'm sorry, I'm new here. I'm just asking the question.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's a really upset parent on the phone and she won't take no for an answer.
Somebody told a meeting of parents that childcare fees were going to rise. They're not, but I've had a flood of angry parents on the phone this morning. Tell her I'll call her back in half an hour.
Okay.
Sorry, I know your time's limited, so let's move on to libraries.
Now, you look like a woman who needs someone to take you to lunch.
At the moment, I feel like that sort of woman.
Well, it's a very big payout.
Can't you recalculate his super or holiday pay or something? Can't he have done a lot of overtime?
She's...
Can't get into a car with Biddy. How did you let that happen, Greg?
Well, I'm very busy, Cole.
You not to let her leave the building without seeing me.
Yeah, you also told me you wanted to speak to me about Darryl.
Yeah, well, didn't your MBA teach you to delegate? Janice, get me the deputy mayor as a matter of extreme urgency. All right, Greg, I've given you the figure. Get onto Andrew Abbott's. Make it work.
Yeah, all right, Cole, look, I agree it has to be done, okay, but what you're asking me to do is slippery, if not a miracle.
No, nothing too slippery, Greg. A miracle will be fine.
Oh, all right, Cole, leave it with me.
Deputy Mayor?
Harry, disaster. Right, that's Darryl. You also realise how important it is to get Karen on side.
Oh, comrade.
Now, if Biddy does a deal with her and gives her something she wants...
You wouldn't give her
We'll have to think of something better.
If you give her the deputy mayor...
Harry, you'll have a heart attack, mate. We've got to think of something, all right? All I'm saying is you might need to be a bit flexible.
Oh, not this. I always worry when you... I hate this flexible bizarre.
Mate, if Biddy is mayor, she might start to ask questions about that air conditioning you had put in at your place. Whether you ever sent a bill.
Did Darryl? Oh, mate, oh, comrade, I can see where this is going and I don't...
Look,
come on, let's not get carried away, OK? We're not talking about facing earthquakes or war or bubonic plague or anything. All we're talking about is
Biddy being elected mayor.
I'd rather take the plague.
Yeah, it's worse than all those, isn't it?
Cole's worried.
He's got good reason to be. I think Karen might well vote for Biddy.
Can't we protest or demonstrate or something?
No,
Well,
we
there
can't.
must be something that we can do.
Yeah, all I'm going to do is go home and take out my Biddy Merchant voodoo doll and stick pins in it. I wonder where you get a voodoo doll, actually.
I don't know. I've got one son, Ned. He's 17. I'm not sure. He seems to spend a lot of time conserving his energies, but I don't think he knows what for just yet. What about you?
What about me?
Children?
Oh, actually, yes. My husband, he has two. They live with their mother. I love them.
None of your own.
No, I think I'm too busy to have kids. I mean, if I'd had them years ago, they'd be there, wouldn't they? But I don't think it'd be right to have kids now. Not with the role I want to play in public life. So you're going to vote me as mayor?
I thought we agreed.
I'm changing the rules.
That was my condition for having lunch with you.
Come on, Karen, you very cleverly kept me at bay ever since this election. But you're a councillor now. You have a duty, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to let you get away.
This really isn't fair,
Don't you
Biddy.
think it's about time we blew up the boys' club and had a woman as mayor?
As I said, I want to raise the standards of building and development. I think this area...
I hope you're as much a feminist as
I think this area could be very beautiful, and I don't see that reflected in the buildings we approve or in the streets or in the public spaces.
The only hope of that is by kicking out Cole Dunkley. He's a Philistine. Have you seen his house? You're an architect. It'd give you a migraine just looking at it. But more importantly, he says he's an independent, but he does all the bidding of the Labor Party. But everything around here is a payoff to some left-wing Labor crony, and I'm not talking about money changing hands. I'm talking about serious corruption, and I've been on the verge of going to the police on many occasions.
Why don't you?
Because that's the kind of tough bully games that boys would play. I want to show them a woman would do things differently. Come on, Karen. We've got the looks, we've got the brains. We can take this down.
You know, I think a change in leadership might not be a bad thing. I mean, I like Cole. It's hard not to. But I'm not sure he's up to the job. Are you? You know, it's the legal details. Cole doesn't pay any attention to them. For example, I got Andrew to put in a clause that will prevent Daryl from ever throwing mud at anyone in council ever again. It's a very good clause.
How will it prevent him?
We'll sue him if he does.
If we get to the stage of suing him, doesn't that mean he's already thrown the mud?
But he won't.
Why not?
We'll sue him if he does.
Yeah, but we don't get to sue him until after. No.
It's a very strong clause.
Darryl never said anything about you, by the way.
No, well, what would he say? I knew Cole was just bluffing.
Well, let me clarify that. He didn't say anything to me. I've no idea what he said to Cole.
Might get Andrew to have another look at that clause.
Who's Daryl?
Manager building contracts. Not someone you'd invite to dinner, but very useful. You can't stand Cole Dunkley. Why?
All morning I seem to keep running across these intense discussions. The mayor, George, Greg all seem to be tied up in them.
The bus shelter. It's driving Cole crazy that he can't just issue an order and get it finished. People ring and complain every day. I make sure they do. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't enjoy doing these things, but this is politics and all's fair and whatever it takes to get rid of Cole Dunkley. Thank you.
How much is my share?
My treat.
No, I'll pay for mine.
I said I was taking you to lunch. We agreed.
And I'm changing the rules.
Let's not argue, Karen. This is my way of saying welcome and thank you.
Well, I wouldn't want anyone to think you were trying to buy my vote, Biddy.
Who's going to think that?
I would, so if you don't mind, I'll pay half.
Congratulations. You passed with flying colours.
Looking forward to Monday night. Possibly a new mayor.
Possibly not.
With all this Daryl and corruption stuff behind us, we might finally be able to get on with the business of running a council for a change. Did we get a bill?
Did we? I don't know. Don't worry about it.
Just something for you to think about should I be elected mayor on Monday night. I'd be honoured to have you as my deputy mayor. I'm serious. I think we'd make an excellent team. Do we have a deal?
I'm not a member of your party.
I don't care about party politics. I care about good government.
I'm an independent.
We're all independents.
No, you belong to a party with an organisation. I'm an independent.
So we'll form a coalition.
The people who voted for me see that as a sellout.
No, they wouldn't. They'd say, wow, did we vote for the right woman? Look, 1 week in council, she's already deputy mayor.
They'd think I sold out.
I've pushed you too far.
Whereas if I took a position like chair of the Planning and Building Committee,
and
and
then
then we
why not
could...
just go for it, Karen? I'm sorry. Look, regardless of who you vote for on Monday night, I would like us to be friends. Don't you dare vote for Cole Dunkley.
Yes.
A lot of the staff feel their views ought to be taken into account about who becomes mayor.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Cole's got his faults, but basically he's a good guy, and Biddy's a nightmare. And we all feel very strongly about it because of her attitude towards us, which is like everything we do is wrong.
You make her sound terrible.
Well, she is. She's always telling us that we're lazy and stupid and corrupt and we all ought to get the sack. And staff will put up with being overworked and underpaid, but not for someone like that.
I'm sorry, I've forgotten your name.
Helen Mansoufis.
Okay. Thanks, Helen.
If Biddy's mayor, a lot of the staff will resign.
Darryl wants a farewell.
A farewell?
Yeah, it was a condition.
Well, do you think that that's appropriate under the circumstances?
Oh, well, you know, he just wants a few drinks, someone to say some nice things about him, so, you know, it looks all normal. I thought we'd get out of the way, do it tonight.
I haven't got time.
It's only a few drinks.
I'm very busy, Colin.
It's not launching a space shuttle.
Unless you want me to go through my current list of responsibilities, Colin, and cross one of them off.
Take you 5 minutes, mate.
Look, I simply do not have the time.
All right, what about the speech?
What speech?
Staff are your responsibility.
Oh, no. This is where I draw the line. No, I'm putting my foot down on this, Colin.
Oh, hey, look, it's only many years of service, one of the team, you know, sorry to see you go, don't be a stranger. How hard's that?
No.
Yeah, all right, point taken. I'll do the speech, you do the drinks.
Leave it with me, Colin.
Yeah, and Greg, put around a note of us, right? I want more than just you and me and Darryl there.
Yeah, leave it with me.
And Greg, one more thing, right? Don't say what the drinks are for. We don't want Biddy and Ermob asking questions before we made the announcement, do we?
Leave it with me, Colin.
There's a weird call for you.
What do you mean, weird?
Weird like this.
I had lunch with Karen Schumacher today.
And?
Oh, I like her. We got on very well. Though she did irritate me at times. She's just a little too convinced of her own self-importance.
We better drum that out of her then.
Why is that?
Oh, you can't have two women in council convinced of their own self-importance.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Thank you for interpreting the event before us.
Hello. Look, I won't hold you up for long. I shall make a very brief announcement, or rather a brief but very important speech in the history of Arcadia Waters Council. There are times when it takes you a while to notice
more like paralytic.
That's what happened today. I went to see Darryl in his office and I could see straight away that things were not as they should be. I won't go into details, but for medical reasons, Darryl is forced to retire early today and go home and look after himself. Now, Darryl being Darryl, he didn't want to go, but as a long-time friend of his, I insisted. And spent the rest of the day talking to George and Greg and others in council about how generous we could be to help ease the pain of the bad news that Darryl has had to learn to accept. So, I hope that with this this ex gratia cheque, we can say farewell to one of Arcadia Waters' favourite sons with honour, with due pride, with respect, and very, very best wishes for the future. We'll miss you, Darryl. All the best, mate. I don't need to say anything in reply.
Reply.
Cole asked me to make a speech. You hope you can get stuffed.
Yeah, right. Right, thank you. That was the hospital. Darryl's in a bad way. We all thought he was drunk, but looks like he might have had a stroke.
Stroke?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, looks like it might be serious too.
God.
Yes.
Cole, look, I know this is going to sound dreadful at such a sombre time, but before Harry gets back, does he have to be deputy mayor again? He's hopeless.
This is very difficult.
He's an embarrassment.
Yeah, but he has been around a long time.
It's getting worse. Oh, please. Either one of us would be better.
What if I had to offer it to Karen Schumacher?
Oh, well, if you had to, we could go with that.
Robert, I don't know yet, but I'll talk to you about it later.
Anyone would be better. Oh, shit, here we go.
Oh, yeah. I see what's. Talk about me
No,
when
we're
I'm...
talking about Darryl. The hospital just rang. He's had a stroke. He's in a critical condition.
Critical? Oh, crikey. This There you are 1 minute. You never know. No, it's coming
No, you don't.
round the corner.
No, Harry, you don't.
And I thought you were talking about the deputy business. We're a selfish lot.
What is going on out there?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. I trust I've disturbed your evening.
Hey, what is this?
This is what I want to talk to you about. But every time I make an appointment, you cancel.
Oh, look, I'm sorry, Mr. Peters.
Peterson! I haven't slept for months.
Yeah, look, I'm sorry to hear it, but it's the middle of the night, mate.
That's when the dog barks!
Yeah, it's a matter for the Rangers.
They're bloody useless.
It's not really a problem you bring to the mayor.
Yeah? Well, I thought I might come down to your meeting on Monday night. You know, the one where you vote to find out who becomes mayor? And play my little tape.
Right. What about if we come and have a look at your problem now?
What, now?
Yeah, right now, Harry.
Aren't we talking about the deputy
no,
business?
mate, no, this is much more important.
But what about, can't the Rangers?
No, Mr. Peterson's not happy with the way council has been performing lately, so Mr. Peterson deserves nothing but the best service we can give him.
Harry Bond, deputy mayor.
How you doing?
Oh, good.
Yes?
Hello, I'm Cole Dunkley, Mayor of Arcadia Waters. I wonder if I could come in and have a word to you about your dog.
Oh, silly me.
What was that again?
Didn't Daryl get your sandstone for out the front?
Yeah, but I paid for it.
Yeah, he probably got it by over-ordering on some council job.
That's the way he did these things, apparently. Or so I'm told.
And that's why I think we should let this whole Daryl thing drop.
Oh, no, it's too good to let go. Cole paid him off.
No, Biddy. We simply draw a line across on all this.
For your sake.
Don't do it for my sake.
We couldn't let you take the risk.
Absolutely not.
Isn't it more important that we recruit the Schumacher woman to our cause?
What if I set up an informal meeting with some of the Businessmen's Club and the Chamber of Commerce?
Gordon would do very well if he were to speak to
Well,
her.
thank you, Gordon, but it's a girl thing, and she's very beautiful, and I know what you boys are like. You'll get all distracted and forget what you're there for. And you know how jealous I am. I want to keep you two to myself. Biddy Marchant? Barry, hi. Yes, I would. Just hang on a minute. It's the Arcadian News. They want to comment on childcare. So drink up, boys. This could take a while.
So, she's beautiful. So what?
It isn't fixed, is it?
Look, it's tricky, but I'll have someone out here tomorrow and I promise you it'll be fixed.
Well, what am I going to do till then?
You want to come stay at my place?
I want to sleep in my own bed.
What took you so? We could have taken it to the pier.
Yeah, can you see the headlines now? Hey, Mayor and Deputy Mayor take deaf pensioner's dog. Look, I'm sorry, but it'll be another night. I'll have someone out here tomorrow and it will be fixed. I promise you, Mr. Peters. Son. She was very nice, though. Wrote a very nice little note to Karen Schumacher saying what a good mayor I've been.
No, I promise you, there are no plans to raise childcare fees. I don't know where she got the story. Yeah, OK, thank you for your call. Bye. Have you seen this? You know what this is? Greg's been setting her up to attack us so he can make a case to privatise childcare as soon as he can.
I know. And if Biddy's mayor, that's what'll happen.
Forget the voodoo doll, I'll bloody stick pins in her.
And you know what Cole wants me to do? Deal with a barking dog. I mean, after his golden handshake for Daryl, I don't know I'm doing anything for him.
No, Daryl's condition's critical.
Cole told me, yeah. Look, I'm sorry that Daryl's in hospital, but he's still a crook.
Sorry, it's probably another angry parent. Hello, Liz Murray. Yes? Yes? I'll be there. That was Karen. She wants to come in and talk to me privately about something she's heard from one of my staff. Helen?
I've been told that if Biddy's elected mayor, some of your staff will refuse to work with her. Do you have any comment?
Look, staff are forbidden from making comments on councillors, especially to other councillors.
Well, OK, but now that the comment's been made, do you think it's correct?
You're asking me to make a comment On a counsellor, I can't do that.
Yeah, but not necessarily a derogatory one. I mean, I can't believe you're forbidden from saying nice things about counsellors.
I thought you were asking me to say whether I agree with the derogatory one.
Yeah, but you could say, for example, the staff will all jump for joy if Biddy's elected.
Now, that sounds like a trick question.
Why? I'm giving you the opportunity to say something very nice about someone who's asking me to vote for her as mayor.
Yeah, but saying something nice about one candidate implies something not nice about another.
Look, I'm sorry to put you on the spot. I'm just trying to get a picture of... If I knew there was going to be an adverse reaction to, say, Biddy being mayor, then that's something I have to take into account when I decide who I'm going to vote for.
I'm glad it's you and not me.
So you can't help me?
Believe me, and I really mean this. I wish I could.
OK. Thank you.
There's the call.
Hey, guess what? Someone's saying they'll walk out if Biddy gets elected as mayor. I thought you might know.
Steve-Owen, who's saying they'll walk out if Biddy gets in? Find out, will you?
Have you heard? Apparently half the staff are going to resign in protest if Biddy's elected mayor.
Goodness, I wonder where these rumours start.
Look, I'm just going into Greg Dominelli's office now and I'll ask him. Greg, just talking to Barry Cunningham at the Arcadia News, I'm telling him categorically we're not raising childcare fees. That's right, isn't it, Greg?
Well, there are certainly no plans at this point in time.
Categorical denial, Barry. Yep. Yeah, that's a quote. Oh, and Barry, one more thing. Could you use your new photo, not the old one? Yeah. No, burn it, mate. But no, don't archive it. Someone will drag it out and use it again. Good on you. OK, thanks. Do you believe this?
Well, we have discussed it.
No, we haven't.
In finance, many times.
In principle, maybe.
It'd be fiscally irresponsible of us not to discuss it.
Yeah, we've never actually said we're going to do it.
Well, not at this point in time.
Not at any point in time.
But at some appropriate
What
time.
appropriate time?
Well, from a purely fiscal management resource deployment point of view, we might possibly need to reconsider.
Greg, when you think we're close to that point in time, ring a very loud bell. I will tell you whether I think it's appropriate or not. Oh, Janice, is that another parent? Can't you deal with it?
It's the hospital. Daryl died this morning.
Jeez.
A terrible shock.
Didn't even go and visit him.
A thought just occurred to me, Cole. Now, you might think this is, slightly insensitive under the circumstances, but when Daryl fell, he was holding that cheque. Now, I took it upon myself to place that cheque in safekeeping as he wasn't exactly in a sober-type situation. Now, there are only 3 people still alive who know how much that cheque was for.
Slightly insensitive.
No,
Greg,
now,
that's
wait a
not
minute.
slightly insensitive.
Look, we were always going to have a hard time explaining the amount.
What were you in your last job? Tow truck operator?
Look, I'm just saying we have the opportunity to recalculate,
No.
make it a bit smaller,
No.
easier to justify.
No, Greg.
Look, he fell on our premises. We're going to have to give an insurance payout.
Yeah, lucky Daryl, eh?
Look, you're not saying he gets the insurance payout as well as the termination cheque.
No, Daryl doesn't get anything, Greg. He's dead. But Daryl's mother and his sister, who he looked after, will get the termination pay, right, and the insurance payout. And if you tamper with that, I might just have to tell a few people what Daryl told me about you. You stirrer, you silly stirrer.
Oh, Cole, if you weren't so insecure, you wouldn't see it as stirring. I'm merely opening the matter up for debate.
I've had an office full of crying mothers this morning, queuing outside my door, sobbing, some of them, because they're afraid they're going to have to lose their
Yeah,
job.
and I'm sure you calmed them down and told them everything was going to be okay.
Wasn't easy.
But you did it, and once again I did you a favour.
Biddy, you know, it must be very difficult for you to understand the lives of women who don't have rich husbands.
It's not the money, Cole, it's the security of the marriage. Oh, sorry, I probably touched on a raw
Biddy,
nerve.
I am doing my best to keep this argument out of the gutter.
Well
If you
done,
could
Cole. It's always good to see a man doing something to better himself.
haven't done a very good job, have I? I was meant to be impressing you with my vision of the future of Arcadia Waters.
Well, you did say it'd be a brief meeting.
You know, that guy we gave a farewell to last night?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I thought we were sacking him, not giving him a farewell party.
He died this morning.
He died?
Had a stroke. Couldn't save him.
Was he a friend of yours?
Oh, Daryl didn't really have friends. Had a lot of people he did things for, but no, he didn't have any friends, even though he worked on the council for nearly 30 years. His father was the same. He died young too. Left Daryl looking after his mother and sister. There's another sister, married to Terry. She ran off with a 10-pin bowler, leaving Daryl thinking he had to look after Terry as well.
And does this explain why you're so lenient about his corruption?
Oh, I wasn't lenient. No, it was either a choice between a quick farewell, which I wasn't completely happy with, by the way, or a long, drawn-out and very messy legal process. Innocent people could have been hurt. You see, Daryl was going to throw mud, and unfortunately, mud sticks.
Anyway, he's dead, so I suppose that's the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it is.
Why don't you wear your hearing aid all the time?
Oh, I got used to the quiet.
What about watching television?
Oh, you have to hear what they're saying. It's all rubbish anyway.
How do you know when someone's at the door?
Oh, wait here. I'll show you. Did you see it?
Couldn't miss it.
My son did that. Oh, he's very clever.
Maybe we'll have to get him to make it go off when your dog barks.
Oh, he doesn't bark.
He does when you put him out at night.
I don't believe in dogs being inside all night.
What about just for the weekend, so we don't annoy the neighbours?
Oh, have you been a naughty boy?
There you go. You coming in or what?
It depends.
On what?
You going to tell me about Daryl?
Look, it's not what you think. It's not corruption or anything like that. It's personal.
It must have been something pretty big, though.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. All right, I was 13. You know, I had sex with someone.
You and Daryl. No wonder you wanted it kept quiet.
Thank you for bringing that to my attention, Karen. It's not the first time I've heard this sort of thing. And my attitude is, I'm elected mayor, the ratepayers of Arcadia Waters want me to do a job, not play best mates with the staff. And that's a mistake Cole makes. And most of this is stirred up by one particular individual, who I won't name, but she's too close to Cole. And maybe I'm the only one who can see it, but she's a very unhappy and disturbed young woman. And she needs professional help.
So, can you tell me that the staff have nothing to worry about if you're mayor?
Karen, anyone who's done a good day's work has nothing to fear from me. Okay, thank you for that. And if there's anything else that worries you, call me anytime.
Thank you, bye. Nothing for you. Little cards and letters from people telling me what a great bloke Cole Dunkley is.
I think I might lose this vote because of some very subtle factors.
Yeah, like Daryl might have died, but some people think you should have sacked him.
No. Karen might vote for Biddy because she's a woman.
Oh, it's not very subtle, Cole.
Maybe it's time we had a woman mayor.
Yeah, but...
Might even think so yourself.
Yeah, but Biddy Marchant isn't a woman. She's a funnel web in a frock.
But will Karen see the difference?
Well, I told her the staff don't want Biddy.
Did you now? Very bad of you, Helen. Take that as an official reprimand. Want another beer? Geez, this smells all right, doesn't it?
Oh, no, it doesn't. It smells like microwave dinner. They all smell the same.
Oh, yeah? Well, if you don't want any.
It's a very familiar smell around my place.
Yeah, I'm still too dependent on one person's vote. I've got a plan B. You know, if Karen Schumacher doesn't vote for me tomorrow night, I'm stuffed. Still can't think of a way around that.
Well, you'll just have to convince her.
I don't want to be just another face on that wall with all the other mayors, you know. No, yeah, Cole Dunkley, mayor. What did he do?
Somebody's been putting these up all over council.
Sue, know something about this?
I thought it'd be fun, and it might help Cole.
It won't. It makes Biddy the victim, and it could make Karen feel sorry for her.
Absolutely. We're going to take him down before too many people see them.
Ah, but the coffee's ready.
I think we're looking good. I'd say tomorrow we'd be looking at a new mayor, one who will look very favourably on a generous offer from a private childcare operator.
Thank you for the inventory, by the way. My boss was very impressed.
You don't think I'm doing this for your boss, I hope?
I hope you're doing this for me, Greg.
And because I believe in private childcare, Marilyn. I'm very keen on it, and I intend to make it happen.
What if there isn't a change in mayor?
Oh, I think there will be.
What if there isn't?
I'm quietly confident.
Greg, I think you're missing my point.
No, I'm just not revealing all my plans at this point in time.
So you have a contingency plan?
Oh, I have many plans.
I like a man with a plan.
A lot of messages for you, Greg.
Are there? Oh, I've just been in a meeting with some people I went to business school with. Networking.
Thought I heard your voice.
Come in.
Sorry about Daryl, Mrs. Kennedy. It's a shame. Sorry about your brother saying that.
Sorry, Mrs. Kennedy.
How are you going, Cole?
Sandra, very sorry about Daryl, Mrs. Kennedy.
Think he drank a little bit too much, Cole?
Oh yeah, I think he did, Sandra.
Take care of yourself,
Yep.
Cole.
Yeah, you too. You too. See ya. See ya.
Have they decided yet officially what killed him? Wouldn't have anything to do with the amount of whiskey he drank, would it?
Oh, I don't know. It's a mysterious thing, stroke, apparently. Could have been a weakness sitting there for years. Could happen to him while he was asleep in bed.
Bump on the head, do it?
God, who knows? Who knows?
Oh, when he fell over.
Oh, yeah, that's what we're going to argue. That way his family gets the full workers' comp payout.
Yeah.
Cole, I just wanted to explain the other day when I was slightly insensitive. I was merely thinking from a council point of view that the arrangement we had with Daryl's for the services that he can no longer perform.
Oh, I'd say they're performing those services very satisfactorily.
Yeah, but what we were really paying him for was
silence.
I've just told Karen she can chair the Planning and Building Committee.
Excellent. You do a splendid job.
So congratulations. And after the vote, we're going to go to Angelo's on the Bay for a celebration. So naturally, we'd love you and your husband to come. Thank you, Biddy. Thank you, Karen.
Karen, something I've been meaning to say to you in case I am elected tonight. I need to give some thought as to who I'd like as my deputy mayor. Now is not the time or place for this, but look, have you got even 5 minutes, someone I can talk to you before tonight's
Right,
meeting?
okay, I'll come and see you then.
Right, thanks.
Oh, comrade, I saw that. You just offered her the deputy
Now
visit.
is not the time or place for this.
Oh, yeah, we only got a few.
Don't worry about it.
Don't. I've got a 6 bizzo.
Oh, yeah, good, Harry, good. And I still haven't got a plan B.
There you go.
I'm off to see the dog lady.
Did you come up with an answer?
Is your dog barking? Put your hearing aid in to make sure.
The simple approach. I hope it works.
Good night.
Cole, I just wanted to wish you the best of luck for tonight. I've enjoyed working with you and I sincerely hope the privilege will continue.
Good. Thanks, Greg. And look, if I've been a bit difficult lately, a bit hard on you.
Not a problem. Just part of my job. Good luck, buddy.
Thanks, Greg.
Hope I'm not too late.
No. Come in.
This is the new minimalist interior.
Oh, no, just the usual clean-up. In case there's a new mayor in here tomorrow morning. Get rid of all the incriminating evidence.
I like it like this.
Karen, I said before that I have to have a think about who I'd like as my deputy.
Yes.
And I wondered if you had any thoughts on the matter. I've had Harry Bond for the last couple of years. Not everyone's a big fan of Harry, but I think he represents a kind of tradition that we shouldn't let go of in too much of a hurry.
I don't really have an opinion.
Okay. Thought you might have some thoughts on the matter.
Biddy offered to make me deputy mayor.
Thought she might. Is that what you want, Karen? Because that's not an offer I could match, given what I just said about Harry.
I told her I'd rather chair the Planning and Building Committee.
Right, much more reasonable.
And I thought if you'd like to make me the same offer, then I can go into the meeting tonight with a sort of balance between the two sides.
Balance?
Yes.
Right, sort of heads you win, tails you win sort of balance. Yeah, very clever, Karen. Yes, I think I could match that offer.
Okay. I'll think about it then.
What? You still haven't made up your mind? You're not going to give me a hint, are you?
wish you the best of luck for tonight and say that I hope I have the privilege of working together with you as mayor this year.
You got rid of Helen yet?
I'm working on it, Biddy.
That'll be your first test. And if you don't get rid of it by tomorrow, you won't last 10 seconds, Greg.
Leave it with me, Biddy.
Are you making a noise out there? Are you saying anything, my little darling? You don't look as though you are. Just a minute. Quiet as a mouse. Good boy.
I think we better go in. Good luck, Cole.
Yes, comrade. Good luck.
Courage, brother. Courage.
I just came to say good luck.
Thanks, mate. Councillors, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming, and welcome to the ballot for the election for the positions of Mayor and Deputy Mayor for the next 12 months for Arcadia Waters Council. Before we get proceedings underway, I think I should mention the shadow that we're under tonight. I think most of you will be aware of the sudden and tragic death of one of our longest-serving members of staff, Daryl Kennedy, and most of us have just got back from his funeral, so I think a few moments' silence might be in order. Thank you very much, everyone. I'll now vacate the mayoral chair and ask the General Manager to chair the meeting. General Manager.
Thank you, Mayor.
Greg loves
Firstly, I'd like to extend a very warm, very personal welcome to all the members of the public who are here tonight. It's good to see so many of the good citizens of Arcadia Waters, as well as a number of visitors, who take such a keen interest in the future of our community. The business of our meeting is the election by the councillors of 2 of their number into the offices of Mayor and Deputy Mayor. I have 2 nominations for the office of Mayor. Councillor Cole Dunkley, nominated Councillor Bond, seconded Councillor Chung, and Councillor Biddy Marchant. Nominated Councillor Mann, seconded Councillor Trujillo. I'll take votes for Councillor Marchant first. Those supporting Councillor Marchant, raise your hand. Three votes for Councillor Marchant. Those supporting Councillor Dunkley. Councillor Schumacher?
Oh, yes. I had a small speech to make, but suddenly I feel very new. The summary of what I was going to say is that I've heard good and bad things about both candidates, some quite good and some very bad. But at this stage, I don't really have enough information to do anything but to vote for the status quo.
Councillor Mandikis?
Not that it matters.
Abstain?
5 votes for Councillor Dunkley. I declare Councillor Dunkley duly elected Mayor of Arcadia Waters City Council. Congratulations.
Right, thank you very much, everyone. Now we have the ballot for Deputy Mayor. Here I have 3 nominations. Councillor Bond nominated Councillor Chung, seconded Councillor Smith. Councillor Mann nominated Councillor Marchant, seconded Councillor Trujillo. And Councillor Mandikis nominated by herself and seconded by me. I will call the votes in the reverse order of their nomination. Those in favour of Councillor Mandikis, raise your hand. 2 votes. Those in favour of Councillor Mann, raise your hand. 3 votes. Those in favour of Councillor Bond, raise your hand. 4 votes for Councillor Bond. That eliminates Councillor Mandikis. The race is now between Councillor Bond and Councillor Mann. Those in favour of Councillor Bond, raise your hand. 5 votes for Councillor Bond. I declare Councillor Bond duly elected.
Congratulations.
And that, I believe, concludes the business of the evening.
You moron. Perhaps now you will not take me for granted.
Harry, you were never in any doubt, mate. I told you we needed a plan B.
You're not an independent. You're just another amateur.
Biddy, hope you don't mind, but I do think I would go to that restaurant with you.
Oh, George, I'm thinking of offering Karen the chair of the Planning and Building Committee. You got a problem with that?
Yeah, I do, as a matter of fact. I've just got Vic to house train.
Right.
And politically speaking, don't you want to throw some crumbs at Biddy's team? So they don't give you nothing but grief all year.
Good thinking, George. OK. All right, well, I better go and break the bad news to Karen, eh?
Just remember, it is all a game. Remember that, or you will go mad.
Karen, thanks very much for your vote. Just a small thing. I can't offer you the chair of the Planning and Building Committee. I know you'll be disappointed with that, but I've actually got a better job for you. I'd like you to look after the Community and Cultural Resources Committee. You'll be working with Liz and the team there, and I think you'll do very well. And you're laughing at me.
I suppose I should thank you for my first lesson in politics.
Karen, I get the feeling you're a very quick learner.
do this, Greg. You can't put in a recommendation to raise childcare fees without discussing it with me.
It was a unanimous decision of the Finance Committee.
I can't agree to that sort of last-minute backroom deal.
You agree on the Brody one?
Yeah, I do.
But not on childcare
I want to
fees?
hear all the arguments.
How dare you! How dare you talk to men like that, you silly old commode!
I did tell you I've only got half an hour.
Yeah, I was just gonna... Right.
What do you want, Biddy?
All I've ever wanted is what's best for Arcadia Waters.
In a hurry tonight?
Oh, got to feed the cat sometime, that's all.